Good day, I'm Stacey Ann Smith and this is your GIS News for December 18. The 2012 winter tourist season, which officially started on the weekend, is already producing impressive numbers. Portfolio Minister Dr. Wickham McNeill made that observation Saturday at the official opening of the new VIP lounge Club Mobay in the Sangster International Airport.
You'd have to be a very lucky person to find a room in Montego Bay today. Occupancy levels are high and projections for the winter tourist season are good. In fact, year to date, the 2012 figures are ahead of the 2011 figures.
And as he opened Club Mobay, Minister McNeill said the state-of-the-art lounge was the first of its kind in the Caribbean and would help to strengthen Jamaica's position as an attractive choice for high-end and returning tourists. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller, who was also at the launch, echoed the sentiment.
We have earned an honorable place among the leading tourism destinations in the world. Given the benefits that this industry has brought to Jamaica over several decades, product enhancement is work that must never cease.
Earlier in the day, the Prime Minister and Tourism Minister welcomed the first visitors to Jamaica for the winter season. Matthew and Chelsea Darby from Fort Lauderdale in the United States were among 400 visitors on the first of a number of flights on Saturday. A draft community-based tourism policy will soon be submitted to Cabinet for approval. Portfolio Minister Dr. Wickham McNeill says the document is complete, but the ministry is awaiting a meeting with industry players and community-based organizations before presenting it to Cabinet.
One of the things that I want to be certain of with a policy that deals with community base is that it is user-friendly. I want to ensure that when we put out some of these policies, that the practical application of it is certain.
Speaking at a recent GIS think tank session, Dr. McNeill also disclosed that consultations were taking place with environmental organizations to ensure tourism practices were sustainable. Over 100 houses being rebuilt following the destruction of Hurricane Sandy are near completion as government pushes ahead with plans to get hundreds of families under new shelter by Christmas. Minister with responsibility for housing, Dr. Maurice Guy, says 133 of the new units are at various stages of construction.
The majority are finished, but there are others that need minor work to be done to have them completed. And we will have by Christmas just under 200 houses completed by a combination of the Jamaica Defence Force and Food for the Poor.
500 houses were reported totally destroyed during the hurricane, and Minister Guy says to date 4 lists of beneficiaries totaling 319 families have been sent to Food for the Poor for construction. The others are being delayed by site limitations, the need for relocation, or questions about property ownership. The minister says these are all being resolved. The Ministry of Agriculture has begun work on 2 of the 8 proposed agro-parks to be established island-wide. Improvement works to irrigation infrastructure and the installation of other facilities have started on the parks at Amity Hall in St. Thomas and Ebony Park in Clarendon. Agriculture and Fisheries Minister Roger Clark says the build-out of these agro-parks will increase agricultural production and export earnings while addressing food security and rural development.
The agro-park concept involves essentially large tracts of agricultural lands, outfitted with the requisite infrastructure to ensure efficient production of crops and rearing of livestock to satisfy predetermined markets.
The minister was speaking recently at the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI's Open Day. The other agro-parks are to be set up in St. Catherine, Trelawney, Manchester and St. Elizabeth over 3 years. Mayor of Kingston, Senator Angela Brown-Burke, says the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation, KSAC, will be taking steps to protect vendors in the newly renovated Redemption Arcade from extortionists. The mayor was speaking at the recent official handing over ceremony of the arcade in downtown Kingston.
So we want to make sure that there's one system of payment, a legal system of payment, that anyone who collects from you has the authority to collect from you, and that what they collect from you will go to the appropriate authority, which is the legal one.
The market was renovated at a cost of $500,000 with funds provided by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. The Digicel Foundation was the project manager, partnering with the KSAC and the Urban Development Corporation. And finally, the former State Minister for Agriculture and Fisheries, Ian Hales, has been reassigned to the Ministry of Water, Land, Environment and Climate Change. Mr. Hales was assigned to the agriculture portfolio when Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller appointed her cabinet in January. According to an advisory from the Office of the Prime Minister, his reassignment took effect last Friday, December 14. The Water, Land, Environment and Climate Change Minister, Robert Pickersgill, will outline Mr. Hales' specific assignment at a later date. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stacey Ann Smith. Thank you for watching.